Even when they get done. So I turned it over to Mary Duefrene, and she took care of the social media, the marketing, the treasure stuff. She just did it all. And I am greatly indebted to her, as to every other person who has volunteered for this organization. But Mary has a great story to tell, and an aspect that we don't often hear. So I am delighted to give a warm welcome to Mary Duefrene.
Thank you. And I have a very loud voice too, so I'm not going to use this because I'll scare everybody away. They'll all run. Oh my God, because my whole family runs from me as it is when I'm yelling. So, anyway, Finding Our Voices. Oh my God, I can't wait to tell you about this organization. I'm so excited. Finding Our Voices. I came about Finding Our Voices in a very strange, weird way. I was selling Mary Kay, and I was trying to figure out how the heck I was going to do this. So I decided to do a yard sale, and I brought a little raffle bucket out there, and Christy, if Christy can raise her hand over there, comes walking into my yard sale, and she just started telling me her story. As horrific as it was, I was just appalled and kind of knew what she was talking about. And she told me that she started being with an organization called Finding Our Voices, and how they helped her get her teeth fixed after her assailant had beat the crap out of her and she lost everything. And so I was amazed by her story, and I thought, I've got to meet this woman. I have got to volunteer, because my life was so dark at the time. I was ready to end it. I didn't want to be around anymore. I was in a nightly day, going into a ball in the corner of my room without my family knowing it, crying all the time. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And this woman comes up and tells me about Finding Our Voices. So I meet Joyce, wonderful Joyce, who saved my life. I started volunteering, and she had realized I was a sexual assault survivor. And I wasn't mentioning it to her, but she knew it. She said, come to my retreat. You need to come to my retreat. I was scared to death, didn't know anybody. I didn't know, this was in the mountains. I knew I was going to be there for 3 days, and I was going to be with a bunch of women that I didn't know and talking about I don't know what, so I was scared. But I went. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. I went home a changed person. I decided I was going to do something about healing myself, because all my life, all I ever heard was, oh God, Mary, you are crazy. I need to stay away from you. You're just crazy. What is wrong with you? And I didn't know what was wrong with me. I came to Colorado, went to therapy. I still didn't know what was wrong with me. They just weren't telling me, and I didn't understand. Well, I wasn't telling them what my story. We weren't told to talk about stuff like that, my family. We were Catholic. You just kept everything to yourself. You know, you just don't talk about kids, be quiet. So I went to this retreat, and it taught me a lot. I learned why I was crazy. I wasn't crazy. I was damaged. I wasn't crazy. I was damaged, and I wasn't fixed. And I was 4 years old at the time. And I thought, what am I, I've got grandchildren, and I'm so damaged, what am I going to do? And she brought me in, and all this training, and the art workshop. Oh my God, the art workshops. You know, I thought I would never do art ever, because I couldn't do anything. I grew up knowing I couldn't do anything. But I went, and it started out dark, black, brown, red. Now if you look at my artwork, it looks like a 12-year-old does it, but I'm still doing it, and I'm showing it, because I'm proud of what Finding Our Voices did for me, and I want to show people what they did for me. They took me out of the dark, and they brought me into this bright light that I didn't know was there. They brought me closer to God again. They brought my family back to me. They fixed me and my family, because I learned what triggers were. I learned what, I thought PTSD only came with military people. Or however you say it, I could be saying it wrong, but with military people. I didn't know it was me too. I didn't know I was having these triggers, and that's what those psycho things that I was, being crazy was. It was a trigger. It wasn't me being crazy, I was being triggered. And it was so wonderful to learn how to deal with those triggers. Because the art classes aren't just for art. It teaches you how to deal, how to survive, how to go forward, how to be happy again and live your life. Well, I was never happy as a little child. I never was. And I didn't understand. And I realized there was this man down the street, and when I would go to school and pass by and go to the school, he would grab me, and I didn't know it. I didn't remember it until Finding Our Voices. Then I realized why I was always so afraid and why I couldn't do anything. I was raising my son alone by myself, and I was poor all the time, struggling, and my excuse was, well, I have a little son. I can't go to school. I can't do this. I can't do that. My excuse wasn't that. It was the fear. It was the fear that was stopping me from doing that. And guess what they did for me? I am 60 years old now, and because of finding our voices, I found mine, and I got the fear away from me. And I'm starting a business for the first time, my own business at 60. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Thank you. It's all because of Finding Our Voices. They healed me. I didn't think I was ever going to be healed. I didn't think I was ever going to look in the mirror and be happy. I didn't think that I would be happy with my grandchildren. But they also taught me how to be powerful and prevention. My granddaughter does not walk to school. My son takes her to school, and he leaves his work and he picks her up. Preventiveness. I'm not going to let my granddaughter go through the life I went through. I'm going to see her happy. I'm going to see my grandson happy. They're going to be happy because I found Finding Our Voices, and they healed me. And I met the most beautiful, wonderful women in this group. And I can finally say that I feel love for the first time in my life because those women show me their love every time I come to the workshops, every time I come to an FOV event. They come up to me and they hug me and they tell me how beautiful I look and I feel good. And it was all these women, part of Finding Our Voices, that did that for me. And I'm so grateful, Joyce, for you making this organization and healing my life and knowing that my life can be happy.